A revolution was taking place in the highland valleys of ancient Turkey. There, in the remote mountains, a warrior people was preparing to rise from obscurity and challenge. The mighty empires of Mesopotamia and Egypt. Their emergence was linked to the discovery of the hardest metal known to the ancient world, but their journey to prominence was a challenging one. To reach the sun-baked plains of Mesopotamia or the banks of the Nile, they had to scale treacherous mountain passes and navigate through dense forests inhabited by fierce tribes. Yet these hardy mountaineers were unfazed. They were the ancestors of the Hittites, and their story is one of resilience, innovation, and ultimate triumph. In this episode, we explore the extraordinary rise of the Hittites, a civilization that many thought impossible due to the perceived impassable geographical barriers. Join us as we uncover how they harnessed their unique environment to forge a path to greatness. In the mountainous heartland of Anatolia, now Turkey, a revolutionary change was taking place around 2000 BC. A group of people known as the Indo-Europeans had migrated from their homeland in Central Asia. They brought with them horses, wheeled vehicles, and a warrior culture that valued strength in the face of a harsh landscape. These hardy migrants encountered a region defined by bitter cold winters and scorching hot summers. Only the strong and adaptable could survive in this unforgiving terrain. And these newcomers were up to the challenge. They soon dominated the land. But they weren't the only ones with ambitions. In the lowlands to the south, west, and east, established civilizations like Hattusa boasted impressive cities and formidable defenses. For example, the Hattusa city of Zelpa was a formidable fortress with thick walls and imposing towers, serving as a bulwark against invaders. Its strategic location near the Halys River made it a vital defensive stronghold. Meanwhile, the Kaska fortified their mountain strongholds with massive stone walls, creating nearly impregnable fortresses that resisted outside forces. Even the indigenous Luwians constructed imposing fortifications, such as the city of Hattusa, complete with towering walls and sturdy gates, demonstrating their commitment to defense. Despite these challenges, the Indo-Europeans emerged as a formidable force, benefiting from superior weaponry and three-man chariot crews compared to their adversaries' two-man chariots. They quickly gained the upper hand on the battlefield. For example, the Hittite army boasted well-built chariots drawn by 2 to 4 horses each, offering greater mobility and firepower than the 2-horse chariots used by their opponents. Additionally, the Hittites implemented a relay system for their chariots during battle, allowing them to maintain a constant barrage of arrows without giving the enemy a chance to regroup. This military innovation, coupled with their control over critical trade routes and wealth generated through commerce with Assyria, positioned their society as formidable in the ancient world. Moreover, Huron rulers were renowned for producing exceptional horse trainers who played a pivotal role in their military successes. By harnessing these advantages, the Indo-European conquerors secured dominance over the region and laid the foundation for the Hittite Empire. The Indo-Europeans displayed remarkable military prowess by executing rapid maneuvers while delivering devastating arrow barrages. This approach not only inflicted casualties on enemy forces, but also had a profound psychological impact. Before direct engagement, they would send out skirmishers who would harass enemy troops and disrupt their formations, sowing confusion and fear. The Hittites instilled such terror that merely hearing their battle cry was enough to cause their enemies' knees to buckle, making the Hittite armies formidable opponents on the battlefield. However, their conquest went beyond mere domination. It was a fusion of military force and cultural embrace. Despite their warrior culture, the Indo-Europeans didn't just conquer, they integrated. They learned from the locals, refining horse training techniques from the Kassites and mastering metalwork from the Anatolian civilizations. They merged their storm deities with local cults, creating a rich tapestry of shared religious practices. This fusion of cultures led to an era of prosperity and cultural brilliance. One of the most fascinating aspects of the Hittite Empire was its unique blend of military strength and cultural sophistication. The Hittite kings, known for their bravery and strategic brilliance in warfare, also demonstrated a deep appreciation for art, literature, and diplomacy. For instance, Mursili II, a renowned military leader, commissioned the construction of a grand library at his capital, preserving numerous texts that shed light on Hittite culture and intellectual pursuits. Similarly, Tutilius III, known for his diplomatic skills, established friendly relations with Egypt and other regional powers, fostering cultural exchanges and trade. These rulers not only expanded their empire through military campaigns, but also enriched it through cultural exploration and diplomatic endeavors. At the heart of this cultural fusion was the religion, which played a vital role in shaping the identity of the empire. While the storm god remained supreme, local deities were incorporated into the expanding pantheon, creating a shared religious experience. This theological flexibility fostered emotional connections between the rulers and their subjects, enabling a governance style that transcended mere force. Instead, the Hittite kings cultivated a sense of shared identity and loyalty among their diverse subjects, ensuring stability and prosperity. This empire was about to undergo a dramatic transformation under the leadership of Labarna, who would become the first great king to harness these new smithing methods. Labarna's rise to power marked a turning point in the history of the Hittites. Emerging from his base in Hattusa, a strategic trade hub, Labarna launched a series of successful raids and military initiatives that would forever change the course of their civilization. His rise to prominence began in the early 17th century BC, during a time when the Hittite people were still consolidating their power in Anatolia. With ambition and determination, Labarna embarked on a campaign to subjugate the highland settlements scattered throughout the region. His goal was nothing short of transforming these disparate communities into a unified and formidable empire. Labarna's military campaigns were a testament to his strategic brilliance and unwavering determination. He led his troops in fierce battles against neighboring kingdoms and tribes, displaying courage and tactical expertise that inspired awe and respect among his soldiers. As he expanded his territory, Labarna encountered a variety of landscapes and cultures, each presenting its own unique challenges and opportunities. He navigated these complexities with skill, forging alliances when necessary and demonstrating a remarkable ability to adapt to different environments. One of Labarna's greatest achievements was his ability to incorporate the local rulers of the regions he conquered into his empire. Rather than imposing a foreign government, he recognized the value of including these leaders, granting them titles and positions within his administration. The Hittites achieved military victories through their superior weaponry and innovative tactics, which enabled them to conquer vast territories across Asia Minor. Their expansion can be traced through a series of interconnected events and processes that unfolded over time. Initially, the Hittites focused on consolidating their control over the central Anatolian region, establishing a solid base from which to launch further campaigns. They then began to push outwards, gradually expanding their influence and dominion. This expansion was driven by a combination of factors, including the Hittites' military superiority, their adoption of local customs, and their ability to forge alliances with neighboring states. Through a combination of conquest, diplomacy, and cultural exchange, the Hittites steadily grew in power and prestige, eventually establishing themselves as a dominant force in the ancient Near East. Labarna's military campaigns were a testament to his strategic brilliance and unwavering determination. He led his troops in fierce battles against neighboring kingdoms and tribes, displaying courage and tactical expertise that inspired awe and respect among his soldiers. As the Hittite Empire grew, so did the need for efficient administrative systems to govern its vast territories. In response, the Hittites developed a sophisticated administrative framework that played a crucial role in the empire's stability and prosperity. At the core of this framework was a network of officials and governors who were responsible for collecting taxes, maintaining law and order, and ensuring the smooth functioning of the empire's institutions. These administrators were carefully selected based on their ability, loyalty, and integrity, ensuring that the interests of the empire were always protected. In addition to their administrative reforms, the Hittites also made significant strides in the field of record-keeping. They introduced a standardized system of accounting that allowed for the efficient tracking of revenue and expenditures. as well as the implementation of sound fiscal policies. This emphasis on accountability and transparency helped to ensure that the empire's resources were used wisely, and that the burden of taxation was distributed fairly among the populace. Furthermore, the Hittites recognized the importance of maintaining communication networks throughout their vast domain. They established a system of roads and postal routes that facilitated the rapid exchange of information and goods between different parts of the empire. This efficient communication network was essential for the coordination of military campaigns, the collection of taxes, and the maintenance of social order. The growth of the Hittite Empire led to the establishment of new cities and the flourishing of existing urban centers. As the empire expanded, new cities were founded to serve as administrative hubs, military outposts, and centers of trade and commerce. These cities, such as Samuha and Hattusa, became vibrant centers of cultural exchange, attracting merchants, artisans, and scholars from across the ancient world. Hattusa, the imperial capital, experienced remarkable growth during Labarna's reign. New districts, temples, and administrative buildings were constructed, reflecting the prosperity and cultural richness of the empire. The royal citadel, with its imposing architecture and fortified walls, served as the seat of government and a symbol of the king's power. Meanwhile, the Hittite kings continued to expand their domains, incorporating new territories and peoples into their growing empire. This process of territorial expansion brought about significant changes to the empire's demographics, economy, and cultural landscape. As the Hittite Empire flourished, it became increasingly apparent that the traditional legal system was inadequate for dealing with the complexities of governing a diverse and expansive realm. In response, the Hittite kings and their advisors worked to develop a more comprehensive and sophisticated legal framework that could effectively address the needs of their growing empire. The development of the Hittite legal system was influenced by a combination of factors, including the empire's geographical diversity, its exposure to different legal traditions, and the evolving needs of its society. The Hittites, being a relatively new kingdom, had the opportunity to learn from the successes and failures of their predecessors and incorporate best practices into their legal system. The Hittite legal system was primarily based on customary law and precedent, with the king and his advisors playing a crucial role in shaping and enforcing legal norms. The system was designed to be flexible and adaptable, allowing for the incorporation of local customs and traditions, while also providing a framework for resolving disputes and maintaining social order. One of the key features of the Hittite legal system was its emphasis on restorative justice. Rather than solely relying on punishment and retribution, the system sought to restore harmony and balance to the community by addressing the needs of both the victim and the offender. This approach to justice was rooted in the Hittite belief in the interconnectedness of all things and the importance of maintaining balance in the cosmos. The Hittite Empire marked a significant chapter in ancient history, leaving an enduring legacy that continues to fascinate scholars and enthusiasts alike. If you found this video informative, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more historical insights. Your support helps us bring history to life. Thanks for watching.